Hi, my name's Richard Bromwell here from Charterhouse Auctioneers, and I'm with my colleague.
Hello, I'm Matthew Whitney.
And Matthew runs our classic car and motorcycle division at Charterhouse. And we're going to have a bit of a chat today, a bit of our trade talk today about your classic car auction coming up on Sunday, the 11th of April, isn't it?
Indeed, yes.
Now, you've got a fantastic selection of both pre- and post-war cars. The first up is this sweet little MG, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little M-Type double 12, which has been beautifully restored to within an inch of its life. Much more attractive and better finished it would ever have left the factory.
And it's a very pretty little sort of boat tail. Is that little Brooklands fishtail exhaust
it is,
as well?
Yes, little fishtail exhaust. Engine's rebuilt to racing spec.
And you're saying that's good for about 70, 80 miles an hour?
Yeah, if you're brave enough.
If you're brave enough. And kind of no disc brakes, no power steering,
no nothing.
Wind in your hair if you've got hair.
Pure motoring.
So moving on then, so that's a little 1930. What sort of value actually would... Because he spent a fortune on that, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's the estimate's 38 to 42,000, but he spent well in excess of that to produce that, and you
and he had to buy the car to begin with, yeah.
Absolutely, and you'd never do that for the.
But it is stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
So moving on to, we're going to move on 3 years to the 1933, the MG, the J2, which is technically is a midget as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Now this is the opposite of the M-Type double 12, isn't it?
It is. That's in really very, very original condition. It's been with the current owner for over 40 years. He's maintained it, rebuilt the engine, but it's all exteriorly, interiorly. It's just great.
It's been well loved and lived in, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And you're saying he had that as a student, didn't he?
He's an undergraduate at Oxford.
Yeah.
He had it from them, so that's quite a cool thing to be zipping around with.
Fantastic. So lovely original car, long-term ownership, that, and the value on that one?
Again, that's sort of 28,000,
Yeah.
sub 30, but again, there's room for improvement if you want to do it.
Certainly the sort of thing which I think I'd rather see left in its original state, just because it's charming, isn't it?
I'm with you on that. That's the sort of thing I would certainly want to do. Try and retain as much originality as possible.
But sort of moving up to sort of a more modern car now, the 1961, the Land Rover.
Yeah, it's a Series 2 pickup. They only made them for 3 years in the Series 2, so it's probably one of the rarer.
So that's obviously before the 2A came in.
Correct, yeah. Like I say, it's probably one of the rarer models of Land Rovers. Again.
And it's in green, and it's a Land Rover. What's not like to like? Well, I suppose you can get the odd blue one, don't you? But absolutely fantastic. A nice little canvas tilt on the back of that one as well.
Yeah.
Am I right? That's the same owner as the little midget, the MG J2 midget?
It's a collection of cars, MGs, midgets, MG midget, Land Rover, and a nice selection of Austin 7s as well.
Okay. And what's that little Landy like that worth today again?
6, 7, mostly 8,000.
6, 7,
It's up together. So
kind of sensible money, yeah. And as you'd say to me, you can take it to the car park and not worry about it.
Put a pint on the bonnet.
Now, we're of a certain age and we are over 50 years old. So next up, we've got the 75, the Ford Cortina, the Mark III, the 2-litre XL automatic. Now, do you reckon that's only survived because it's an automatic?
Probably, yeah.
Personally, I think the paint is the paint choice is a Marmite. It's a love it or hate it. I'm going to love it, because I had a Stag in the Java green, so I really get that. But the Coke bottle styling.
Yeah, great, isn't it? My uncle had a red one of those, a GXL, which I remember burning the back of my legs on. Black vinyl.
My dad refused to have one of those because he said they were ego cars, an EGO. That is, everybody's got one. Yeah. So he had a Renault, so I don't think he chose wisely. But isn't that rare to see these days?
Yeah, I think there's only sort of less than 12 registered on the road.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Can you think how many thousands of tens of thousands?
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely everywhere, wasn't it? Yeah. But it's the XL. Look at that.
Yeah.
Is that stuff like extra luxury or something?
It's got black vinyl roof.
Look at that.
Interior.
Yeah, fantastic. And a rare survivor.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the road, ready to go.
On the road, and the value on that one?
I think we've got 3.5 to 4.5 for that. So
you could have you can have some fun with that, can't you? You can go to some shows, and it'll make people like us smile because they remember them. Yeah.
And I say it's affordable, isn't it?
Now something that isn't so affordable is next up is the 1990 Porsche, the 928, the S4, the kind of the one to go for, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Last of the line.
5
litre V8, over 300 brake horsepower. Just over 74,000 miles from you with full Porsche service history. This is the one to buy if you want to put your own money into it.
I think we're all getting quite we're falling in love with this, aren't we? I think it's there are so many poor examples
Yeah,
of these out there.
they fell into the wrong hands, didn't they?
Yeah.
They couldn't maintain them, but that is...
Now this has been down to Porsche Bournemouth a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah,
the past years.
Last year's had just over £13,000 spent on it
And
on maintenance.
did you say that the client, very, very meticulous, he wanted some new tyres, so he said he wanted 5 new tyres. Now, you and I would say, actually, we'll have 4, and don't worry about the spares. So
five new tyres, top of the range.
Absolutely. So meticulously maintained and looked after. And you've only actually got to look at the engine bay. I mean, beautifully presented there. And the value on because these have been creeping up, haven't they?
That's over 20 now these days, but I think there's legs for that as well. They're going, they are rising in value.
I suppose as the 911s, which this was brought in to supersede.
Yeah.
Well, that was history, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
but their value on this one,
that's in at 22 to 25.
Yeah.
And I think that's
so he spent nearly sort of
half the value.
But that is why it's such a great car today, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's a bit of a quick look through the cars pre and post war. There, you've got a great selection of motors, haven't you? Got coming up for sale.
It's a nice selection of cars. Something for everyone as usual. The Charter has.
Well, certainly, if you want to have a look at the cars, you can have a look on our website, and maybe we'll see you at the sale bidding away.
Yep.